Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Josh, and I guess today we're going to be doing another. Oh, actually, you probably know my name's Josh because it's just blasted in your face for 10 seconds straight. Uh, anyways, we're doing a Q&A today. It's been a while since I've done one, so I thought it'd be a little bit, fun to go over some of the questions and stuff that I get. So let's go ahead and jump into this, shall we? So first question regarding the HC820s is when will the price go down? Well, honestly, Zach, maybe? Zach? I don't know. It's gonna be a while. They haven't even come out yet. Getting them to drop down in price. Sennheiser really isn't particularly known for doing that. Even like the HC800s right now are more expensive than they used to be. When I bought them like 2 years ago, like $1,000, like they were $1,000 flat on Amazon. Now let's see what they are. I think they're like 1,200 or 1,300. The point is they didn't go down. So if we're gonna see an update or anything regarding price, yeah, right now they're $1,100. What I would be interested to see though, but I'm sure it's like a while down the line, is to see if maybe like Massdrop would do like their own kind of built system or something, or like they did with the HCXX. I'd be interested to see if they did that, but I'm assuming that they're probably not doing that. Danelaqua says, nice to see you're part of the ultra-wide master race. Could you possibly have to fiddle around and try and get it so people who have ultra-wides can view it in 21:9? Many thanks. Keep on going with this playthrough. It's the best game ever. This is regarding the Skyrim playthrough. Quick update on the Skyrim playthrough. I've decided that I fucking hate myself for some reason, and I'm playing on like super hardcore mode. So I'm playing on legendary difficulty, no HUD, no stamina, no health, and no magical bar. So I have no idea where I fall in that line. No crosshairs, no compass map at the top. So basically like super duper hardcore. Anyways, I've been kind of flirting around with the idea of making it 21:9 because I do record in 21:9. And it looks like it's working. The problem is that GeForce Experience, which is what I use to record both the audio going into the computer and the game thing, it gets fucked up all the time. So I had to do like hella tests before I start. And just today I recorded like 45 minutes of footage and it was like, it fucked it up. So I was like, fuck. Okay. Miriam first asks, are you Josh from DMS and Howard Stern's podcast? Yeah, that was me. I was on Howard Stern. Thank you for noticing, man. Appreciate that. Good looking out, man. Paul Breland says, too much talking head, not enough product demo. Keep trying. That was for one of my lens reviews. Sorry, Paul. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Fuck off if you don't like the video. What do you want me to say to that? Big Sax, nice name, says the 35mm looks dope. What one are you shooting with? The Canon Micro. It was I ended up selling it because I got this lovely the fuck is this? This lovely Sigma. The color on the Sigma, especially like the chromatic aberration, is just so good. I think I don't have it here, it's in the other room, but with a lot of the Canons, you get like this green chromatic aberration, and it can look cool in certain circumstances, like especially like outdoor shooting. It looks really dope. But the chromatic aberration of this is blue. So you get like this really cool colored tones, but the color richness of the lens, especially like for video, it's not that great. But that's mainly due to the color science behind the 70D. It's decent for skin tones and stuff, as you can tell. But for general things, it's not that great. Especially in like the darker areas of the room. But the lens is like I think it's like a 17 to 50 f2.8. And it's just a wonderful lens. I recommend it 100%. It wasn't too expensive either, and it's solidly built. The only thing is it does creak a little bit when you change focus. Hear that? So you have to have like a separate dedicated mic away from the camera, or else the microphone will pick it up if it's on the hot shoe. Anyways, back to your question. The Canon Micro, no, it was just the Canon f1.8 to 70 millimeter or 35 millimeter, I think. Or maybe it was a 2 point f2. I think it was an f2. Yeah, it was like $550. It's an expensive lens, but a really nice lens. I really liked it, but I like having the wider angle, and then if I really want to go, you know, close in, it can still have that really nice kind of what's the term for? Well, one, that focuses really well, and two, it's a shallow background, like the bokeh in the background, the shallow depth of field is really important to me. And having that versatility all in one lens makes it for really smooth transitions between like different types of shots, whether I'm vlogging and then I want to go in and do some B-roll on like a cup or something, because like let's say cup right here, not that great, but cup here looks way better, right? And it's just a simple millimeter adjustment. I'm tired as fuck, so I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. I swear I know what I'm talking about. My mind is just scattered as fuck today. And then the next comment is, did I just read 9gag? And that was regarding like a 9gag, the rules of 9gag video that I did, which is just kind of like a funny comedic thing. I don't know how well it worked out, but people seem to like it, I guess. Sniper Pro Nerf Mods says the content is good, so I subbed. That's how this is supposed to work, so thank you for being part of the program. Okay, and then I think this will be the last comment for today. Sydney Michelle writes, if you can't retrieve detail, then these are not good for mixing. And this was regarding the T50RPs. I think she or he, sorry, I don't know if you're a girl or a guy, is referring to the beginning part when I was talking about without mods. But I will address that. And because I did say that they were somewhat lacking in detail, but I also said in that same portion of the review, I think, that they were good for mixing. And I'll explain why. So I don't mix, but I can understand the concept, and I appreciate what it takes to be a good mixer. And I think that if you're recording for total quality and you want 100% finished product and you want it to sound good on every device, you need to test on a myriad of different devices. If you don't have a plethora of different devices, then you're kind of bottlenecking yourself into what you're hearing. Let's say, for example, let's say I mix on these M1060s, right? Well, a song that sounds good, and the pads are coming off right now because I have foam underneath them that is like installed, but what sounds good on the M1060s are not going to sound good on these AirPods. And these AirPods, which are meant to replicate the sound of Apple EarPods, are one of the most common played headphones in the world. So if you're making music for an audience, and your audience is using AirPods, well, you might want to make damn sure that it sounds good on AirPods, right? So do I recommend mixing on AirPods? Actually, yeah, I do. However, don't get mad. That's only a small part. I recommend mixing on anything and everything you can that has different qualities to it. And I have never run across a pair of headphones or in-ear monitors or anything that can play everything the way that in every category. I've never ran across a pair of headphones and or speakers, and you never will, simply because of the fact that regarding total detail, there's not really anything that's going to beat what I've been told for an electrostatic, or let's just say a planar magnetic headphone, right? And over ear blasting these very thin kind of membranes that produce this incredible amount of detail. And no headphone, the opposite of this, no headphone is going to be able to create the vastness and the tangibility of a set of really good speakers. You're just not going to beat it. So you need different aspects to be measured through different pairs of headphones. So if the T50RPs don't do detail as well as the M1060s, that doesn't mean they're bad for mixing. Like, you're bottlenecking yourself and you're locking yourself into thinking that you need one pair. Or at least that's what I'm gathering, and I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am. But you made a very simple comment. If you can't retrieve detail, then these are not good for mixing. That's a bold statement. I would say that if you can't retrieve detail at all through any of your headphones, then sure. You probably shouldn't be mixing with the headphones you have, and you might want to look at something better. But just because they're not good at one thing, if I say, oh, they're not good at registering treble, or the dynamic range is kind of tight, so you can't just say, oh, because of this it's not good for this. There's something that every headphone is going to lack. And you know just having it, like, try not to bottleneck yourself in. One, because I think that personally, Sydney, you look kind of stupid when you say that, because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you either haven't thought your comment through, or you're just angry about what I said. And I'm sorry to come across like a dick, but it's true. Like, just because they don't do one thing doesn't mean that as a whole they're not a productive member of what would be normally what I suggest a repertoire of speakers and headphones to mix with. So just, again, if you're going to mix, these are good for mixing, but they're good at mixing certain aspects of something. Then you want to switch over to the M1060s, then the M40Xs, then the Apple AirPods, then the speakers, and then the other set of speakers. And you want to just go, like, from device to device to device until what you have is complete on everything. Now, everybody has their own way, and I don't mix, but a lot of people do it differently, and you're fully entitled to do however the fuck you want. Whatever end result you get to, I just suggest that for the best result, the best total end result, no matter what you are listening to, you should have a complete understanding of something. And I say a complete understanding simply because of the difference between speakers and headphones and what the stark differences between those two are. I would say that you need at least one pair of each to measure something in its entirety, I guess, to be able to get a feeling for it. Because there are songs that sound like, for example, Welcome to the Machine, Pink Floyd. Sounds good on headphones, kind of. Sounds fucking incredible on speakers. There's something about the way that the sound is produced that is just like, it just comes at you, and it's such a pleasurable experience. And it's just like, it hits you in like all the right places. You're just like, this is a good song. But if you were mastering it on headphones, you'd never know that. You would never know that feeling unless you tested it on speakers as well. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to wrap up this Q&A. I think it's been going long enough. Thank you for sharing a coffee with me this morning. I'm pretty tired, so I'll upload this as soon as I can. All right, peace.